Hello. Here we're doing a story time, and it's kind of gonna be all over the place, but get ready. Get ready, okay? I'm warning you. It's a whole lot going on, but it's gonna be a good one, okay? And I actually made friends there too, but it wasn't for so long. But end up moving back to where we were at, which was in upstate New York, Albany. That's where we were, staying. Eventually I went to a new middle school, which I was staying for temporarily, not temporary, permanent, until I was gonna go to a different, not middle school, but into a high school. And in this middle school, I went through a lot. The first day I went through bullying and humiliation, and it's a tough story to explain. I'm gonna explain the story of my first day and everything else, but my first day, remember little bits and pieces, because sometimes when you deal with certain things, your mind kind of wants it to just be gone. So I remember certain parts. My first day, I remember coming to class and I was really nervous. And you know how you come to class and everybody's looking at you like, who's this new girl? And I went to class. I did deal, when I first went to school, literally my first day, I went through a whole lot of bullying and humiliation and whatever. I went through a whole lot with other kids. Certain things I didn't understand was they would try to ask me questions, and certain things I almost felt like I was a foreign exchange student. What are they talking about? I don't know what they talking about. And I was a social butterfly before, so I was not understanding certain things they were saying. And it was in English. I was it was just different terms, an urban and language, and it was just weird how I didn't understand it, and it was just okay. But they would ask me certain things with boys, and I'd be like, why are they asking me these weird questions? And I remember that, and I just remember being under pressure, why they ask me these questions, and then I just came up with the answer I don't remember all the questions, but I remember just stupid question they were asking me, and I'd be like, why are they asking? And I'm new, so I don't understand where all this is coming from, but all that resulted into me, because they asked me certain things about a boy, and I didn't know who the boy was, and I was okay. I didn't understand, I literally felt like a foreign exchange student. I did not understand at all. It was my first time in middle school, so I was not into the whole thing. So into me saying just one simple answer, it became oh, she said she wanted a da-da-da-da, and I'm like, what? And it just became a whole thing where I remember towards the end of school, I remember the same people, I think it was 2 girls or whatever, came up to me and showed me this boy they were talking about, oh, would you da-da-da-da? I think it was oh, would you kiss him, or would you? And I'm just I don't know who this is. I don't know. But it was just a whole thing, and it was just it was so uncomfortable. And I just remember my mom asking me how was my first day, and I literally lied to her because I couldn't tell her the whole thing. I just felt so kind of embarrassed and humiliated. I can never say that word right, but you know what I mean. And it was just I couldn't tell my mom. I didn't even want her to it was my first day, and I wanted to to feel nice, and it wasn't nice at all. But during those times in middle school, I went through a lot. There's certain things, like I said, the story's all over the place a little bit because my mind, it's certain things I remember were not good memories, so I try not to remember them. So, but I can remember them, but I try not to. So the details of it is a little woozy. I remember me being bullied because I didn't shave my underarms. I didn't even care about my underarms. I didn't know it was a thing. Like I said, I felt like a foreign exchange student when I was there. Like everything was a thing and I didn't understand it. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Fix my bum, looking crazy. Anywho, but yeah, I remember me crying. I didn't even want to cry, but I cried, and it was so embarrassing. And I was just like, and it wasn't during class. It was the worst moment I could think of. I try not to think about it because I really didn't like feeling that way, so I try not to think about it. But it also helps me become a better person. Like I'm not that person anymore where I'm vulnerable or people could take advantage or bully me. You know what I'm saying? But I also remember one of those moments where I remember walking to, I think it was lunch or a classroom with my friend, and it was just like a whole group of people over by the stairwell. I don't know why, but there was just so much people over by the stairwell, and I'm just like, I don't know, but it was during lunchtime, so and I was nervous for some reason. Like I was getting like anxiety being around so much people because of bullying and humiliation. It turned me into getting so much anxiety, so I was just nervous, and then I ended up falling down the stairs. Literally, like, these are long stairs. Thank God I didn't get a concussion or anything, but I fell, and it wasn't like you would think, oh my God, are you okay? It kind of was that, but it was mostly laughing. Like they're mostly like, there's like one or two people saying, are you okay, while laughing, and then the rest are just like joking and laughing at me. And it was just like, I was just like, that moment, it was just so messed up to me. I couldn't. I went to the nurse. I was only there for a while, and I think I ended up going home at the end of the day because I felt so horrible, and I was just like, why am I here? Like, this is so horrible. I remember go through a whole lot of stuff with different people, and like I had certain friends that were fake towards me, and I ended up getting into a fight with them, and that happened. A whole lot of stuff happened in middle school. My memory is all over the place, but all that stuff that happened to me, it kind of didn't make it better when I went to high school, because when I got to high school, I was scared that the same thing was gonna happen to me. I was like, I don't want the same thing to happen to me, like, and that's resulted into me not like going to school like that. Like I would tell my mom, oh, I'm going to school, bye mom, I love you, go to school, literally walk past the school and go on for walks until almost the end of the day. Not like the end of the day of school, because I know I'm like, eventually I'm gonna have to go to 1 or 2 classes. Like I went to like 2 classes towards the end of the day, and like I know some people were like, oh my God, they let you in. Like, this was a public school, so for anybody who's watching this, it was different. But anyway, I remember just like walking past the school and walking nonstop, and like going to the store and stopping to get snacks and just walking around until towards almost the end of the school period. And it was getting bad because it wasn't like they wasn't gonna notice it. And then I ended up getting probation for not going to most of my classes, and that's when I had to. Then there was times when my mom realized, like, okay, you're not going to classes, what's going on with you? Which also led to me and our relationship was like getting you know, confrontational a little bit. And at the same time, I was a teenager and I was going through a lot of things. Like, I was like kind of really upset during times, and like I said, it resulted from bullying and humiliation or whatever. And at the time, my mom didn't know anything about it. You know, I kept it to myself, which is, I recommend nobody do it at all. Don't keep nothing to yourself, because all that feelings that you're bottled in, and sometimes you don't even know where it's coming from. You do know where it's coming from, and you just have to confront yourself about it, because it won't make any better by just holding it in. Yeah, me and her went through a confrontational stage at that time. And I had to, you know, go to my classes because it was mandatory, or I had to go to family court or something and all that stuff. So I was like, I might as well. And I had to show proof that I was going to my classes. It was no joke. I was like, damn. But it led to me more liking going to my classes, mostly because like I didn't really go through that much bullying when I went to high school. Because I had a friend, I had a best friend, and we were there for each other. And it wasn't just that because I didn't go to bullying. It was just like high school was different than middle school, literally. Like, you didn't have the same classes with the same people you would see every day. So it was just like, and even then, I didn't go through it. I mean, there would be times where there'd be jokes, like stupid jokes that we kids always do. And then you just ignore it because it's like, you've been through it. So it's like, you just ignore it. You leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? So throughout high school, I got to like it because it was like, it didn't feel like I was going through hell. Like I was getting good in my classes, but then there were certain things where my depression kind of grew stronger. There was a time where I just felt like I didn't fit in. Like certain trends or certain things I would wear, or not having a job. I don't know why I was just so like just so into that. Like, it was because I would see so much people getting a job and having their own money and having da-da-da-da. And I was like, dang, I want to do that. And I was working hard to just do my applications and all that stuff. And I think it was around junior year, I decided to try to kill myself. Even before then, I had did certain things like cutting myself and with razors. The marks are gone now, but I used to have them on my hands. Not on my hands, but yeah, my hands. I used to do them on. I didn't do them on my arms. I didn't, but I did them on my hands where you can see them. Which was a bad idea. My mom noticed them and it was like, you need to stop doing that. Where I couldn't use razors. But around junior year, I tried to kill myself, and it wasn't with a razor, it was with pills. I didn't know what they were, but I took a lot of them, which was a bad idea. I was going through a whole lot. Like, when I think about it now, I don't know where my mind had my mindset was at. It was horrible. I felt like a part of me felt like a failure. Like, why am I like, and it's crazy when you're so young. Like, they always tell you shouldn't feel like that, but it's just like, I don't know. It just comes and goes. It just started off getting so strong where I wanted to hurt myself. And it was a good thing I called my mom, because at the same time, I was scared. I was like, I wanted to kill myself, but I was just like scared. What if I leave my mom? What if? And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. I'm just tired. And it was a whole lot. My mom ended up calling the police. They came in, which was really quick. They came in. I was kind of unconscious for a bit because I was just crying my eyes out and I felt woozy and I was just like, I was all over the place. And, you know, they tried to wake me up for a couple of bit and I woke up and went to the ambulance. When I went there, my mom was like scared, crying, like, why would you do that? And my mindset, it really wasn't right at the time. Just certain things that I went through, it just wasn't right at the time. Yeah, I went through a lot and went to the emergency room and they gave me something, I forgot what it was called, but it looked like charcoal. It was something to like release the toxins because I had took pills. So it was something to like, I think I threw it up. I think I was supposed to or whatever, but it had made me release toxins in the pills that I was taking. So I had to take it. And it tasted really gross. So I like eventually I ended up spitting it out, but they gave me more of it because I couldn't spit it out. I had to swallow it. And I ended up they ended up taking, social worker recommended my mom that I should go to a facility, which really wasn't bad. It wasn't like asylum, and no, it was a place for certain people my age, like kids and stuff, and it was a nice area. It was called Four Winds. I would recommend it to certain people because it was really nice, especially at a young age. And you start to realize, oh, I'm not the only one going through this and feeling like this, that, and the third. So it made me feel better when I was there. And the best thing about it is that they didn't let you have cell phones, which I feel like was a good idea. Some people would be like, what? I need my phone. No. Not having cell phones and the activities they had you doing, and it was a different thing for me. I think it was a good idea and it helped my mindset a bit because I learned what like other girls and other people were going through, and I was just like, girl, get your shit together because these people are going through a whole lot of hell worse than you. So I had realized that and I was just like, I need to do better. I can't keep having these thoughts and just making myself worse. So I was there for like a couple weeks and ended up going back with my mom, and my mom was just like still kind of scared, like, oh, don't do that. And you know, even after a year or two, my mom was still kind of scared of me taking pills. Like if I needed a pain pill, she would like tell me to take one and make sure I took one, you know? Even then, I'm not a big fan of pills anymore. I'm really not. I don't take any type of pill at all, which is weird. I just don't. After that, I just don't take any type of pill. I don't trust pills for some odd reason. I think I've done research on pills and I just don't like it for some reason, but I don't know, that's a whole different story. But yeah, after that I had to realize I need to do better. After that I did better in my grades in school. Even before then my grades wasn't bad, but you know, during senior and junior year my grades are pretty good. I was doing better, but the depression was still there. That's the thing, depression doesn't easily go away. It was still there, but it was like not as big as it was before, but I was still working on myself. After high school, when I graduated, I went through certain things, like with jobs and stuff. I was working at this place. It was a fast food restaurant. I went through a whole lot. That's a different story time. Trust. I ended up getting fired because at the same time I was like I was doing school. I was going to school, and the manager kind of didn't understand that, so towards then I got fired, and I was like towards the end of school. But yeah, after that I kind of went through a little depression and not getting a job, and it was a little hard time, but eventually I ended up getting a job, and it was in a hospital, and it wasn't bad at all. But like now then, when I think about depression, I try not to think about it. I think it's my thoughts that just come in my head and just tell me certain things that I shouldn't even be thinking about. And I've learned this thing where to control your thoughts and not like deal with negative thoughts. And the thing is, it's not easy to get rid of the negative thoughts. It really isn't. But when you think of positive thoughts, it kind of triumphs that negative thought. So I've had to learn that throughout years, and not, especially with my past, because there's a whole lot in my past that I think about sometimes, and I try not to think about it. I'll be like, leave that alone. It's in the past, and think of positivity and growth. Yeah, like I said, my story time is kind of all over the place, but y'all know the tea now. I did this story time because not a lot of people know about that. Not really. Mostly that knows is my mom, and just not the whole story. It felt really private to me, but then it was like, there's a lot of people that's going through kind of the same thing I'm going through or worse. So it was like, might as well get it out now. I'm becoming a better person, so might as well get it out now. And that's what I decided to do for my first story time in my first YouTube video. But I also want to recommend for some people that are dealing with it to really talk to somebody, not just a therapist, but someone that really cares about you, you know, that loves you. The person that I really went to for like thing I was going through with my mom, she was really there for me. Like, I give her so much credit because it's not easy. Like, she also went through a whole lot of things worse than I did, so she understood what like I was going through, kind of, but not my mindset, because my mindset is like, I'm a very overthinker. I overthink a lot of things, so that part she couldn't kind of understand. It was just, I needed certain things to distract me from overthinking, but certain things with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, she understood that because she went through a whole lot of things worse than I did that I can't even describe. There's so much story times with my mom. Let me tell you, the stories that she tells me, it's a whole lot with her. But I would recommend to talk to somebody that you love and you trust. You don't just have to go to a therapist. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay for a therapist. No, you can easily talk to like a best friend or a mother that actually understands you, you know? So that I would recommend. Sometimes if it's getting worse, I would recommend going to a facility when you know you need help. But yeah, that's, ooh, sorry guys, my freaking cat playing with the fucking door. She loves to follow me everywhere. Anyway, but like I was saying, I would recommend a facility that's in a good space, somewhere that's good for you. I wouldn't just quickly go there. I would look into it and do research, but a nice facility that actually has people there that, you know, understands your situation and has a good environment. And I would recommend definitely talking to somebody, because bottling things that you're going through, it never helps you. Like, certain people think like you can self-help yourself. In a certain way you can, but not really. You need a kind of support system in a way to help you, people think if you hold it in and you make yourself stronger. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It makes you in a way weaker, because it's like sometimes people can detect the things that you're going through, like, oh, this person's sad or this person's negative all the time. Certain people can tell, and bottling in it doesn't feel good, because sometimes in life the same thing can happen to you again, and then you feel like the world is coming down on you, like, why is this happening to me again? I would definitely recommend talk to somebody, most definitely. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this story time. Give it a thumbs up, comment, share. Definitely, I would recommend you guys to comment, like, if you've ever been through what I've been through or worse. I feel like it's like the time to share our little depression stories and just let it out. You know, be a better person and let all that shit go away and just talk about it. But yeah, see you later.